What do you do when everything falls apart, when your city is destroyed, your leaders are gone, and you're living in a foreign land? God's answer might surprise you. Welcome to day 3 of week 4 of the Bible reading plan you'll actually finish, brought to you by Five Oaks Church, and Bible Story Guides. I'm Henry. We're still in the Kings and Prophets scenes, but now we've completed the kingdom era and we're moving into the exile era. The northern kingdom of Israel was conquered by Assyria and scattered. The southern kingdom of Judah held on longer, but eventually they too were conquered by the Babylonians. The Babylonians came in, destroyed Jerusalem, destroyed their walls, destroyed the temple, and they took the political leaders and religious leaders, along with most of the most educated citizens, into exile in Babylon. False prophets promised a quick return, but the prophet Jeremiah, a true prophet, said the exile would last 70 years. And then he said something very surprising. He told the exiles to settle down, build houses, plant gardens, get married, have children, and pray for the prosperity of Babylon, the very nation that conquered them. I'm going to read part of the letter that Jeremiah sends to the people of Israel with the message from God. And here's from Jeremiah 29. This is what the Lord of heaven's armies, the God of Israel, says to all the captives he has exiled to Babylon from Jerusalem. Build homes and plan to stay. Plant gardens and eat the food they produce. Marry and have children. Then find spouses for them so that you may have many grandchildren. Multiply. Do not dwindle away. And work for the peace and prosperity of the city where I sent you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, for its welfare will determine your welfare. One of the exiles taken to Babylon was a young man named Daniel. He served the Babylonians faithfully, rising to a position of great influence. But he never compromised his faith, even when it meant facing death. You're probably familiar with the story of Daniel in the lion's den, and here's some of the backstory. Daniel had risen to great heights in the kingdom, and the other administrators were jealous, so they convinced the king to pass a law that for 30 days no one can pray to anyone except to the king on pain of death. Well, Daniel hears about the law, but continues his usual practice, which is to go to his window and pray 3 times a day. Well, the administrators turn him in, and even though the king deeply respects Daniel, he throws him into the lion's den. I'm going to read from the conclusion of the story in Daniel chapter 6, where it says, a stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den. The king sealed the stone with his own royal seal and the seals of his nobles, so that no one could rescue Daniel. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night fasting. He refused his usual entertainment and couldn't sleep at all that night. Very early the next morning, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he got there, he called out in anguish, Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God, whom you served so faithfully, able to rescue you from the lions? Daniel answered, long live the king. My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me, for I have been found innocent in his sight, and I have not wronged you, your majesty. The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be lifted from the den. Not a scratch was found on him, for he had trusted in his God. Daniel didn't wait for perfect circumstances to be faithful. He served God right where he was, in the heart of a pagan empire. He was living out what Jeremiah had said they should do. Although God protected him in this case, he was willing to die. And here's your takeaway for today. You don't have to be in the right place to be faithful. Bloom where you're planted. Seek the good of your city. Trust God with the outcome. That's what faithfulness looks like when everything falls apart. So until tomorrow, have a great day.